Hello, fellow watchers and podcast enjoyers. Ash and Piggy back for the first episode of Watching Walford of 2024. But because it's always good to have a legacy, this is Watching Walford episode 53. Just like normal, no changes. Bit of a change of look, bit of a change of scenery. Piggy's got a better microphone. Yeah, look at that. Oh, beautiful.
I can also do this.
It's going to trip me out during the edit. Oh no, he's desynced again. But yes, obviously myself, Ash and Piggy, here to bring you Watching Walford, the podcast, so we cover the biggest storylines and takeaways from week 1 of 2024. All the storylines and the episodes we're going to cover are the 1st of January 2024 all the way to the 4th. The main storylines we're going to cover are Sonia and Reese's baby struggle, Zach and Whitney's baby news, George's identity crisis, which was prompted by his parents arriving, and finally Lauren and Penny's return. As a whole, how would I describe the week? It's a much more dialed back week this time. There's much less going on than you would expect, considering we just came hot off the back of the Christmas period. But fundamentally, it's time to let the dust settle a little bit. It's time to not fucking... if you've already come 3 times, you don't need to be fucking pumped for 10 more minutes, you know what? Maybe just take it. Just enjoy the euphoria. Ah, delicious. Never me, of course. How's it going, Piggy? Yeah.
I thought what that was. I'm fucking massaging a sausage. Hey. Ooh. I'm doing good. I'm enjoying this new microphone because I love my new feature. So now if I want to curse and Ash like you can't say the C word, I can be like you. No one will understand what I'm saying. I can literally say you stupid. No, see, no one suspected a thing.
You
read my lips,
anything.
but
I'm just waiting for me in the edit to start just putting train noises.
Chugga chugga choo choo.
Just no. Let's be real. The podcast isn't being edited even now. The podcast is the podcast. It's 30 minutes of us talking about us and about 15 talking about the Eastenders.
Had a chalky milkshake, kind of healthy, kind of not.
Well, you say kind of healthy, but you absolutely... Oh, yeah, some fucking cinnamon, some honey, some dark chocolate.
Banana.
It doesn't make it healthy.
The recipe on YouTube said healthy, so I'm going with that.
It's like saying a burger's healthy because you've got 1 leaf of lettuce on it. It's like, fucking it's been cooked in grease.
It's delicious though. It's delicious.
I say that I had a milkshake. I had a milkshake and a fucking pork bap, which brought me back to the days of going over to the town over during college. We'd go down, we walk to this butcher, so they'd give you this pork bap, which is obviously butter, stuffing. You'd even get some apple sauce if you wanted it. Massive fucking wad of pork, fucking and some gravy on top. Oh, delicious. But yeah, the week. This is obviously the first week of the new year, and fuck me, has it been the busy one? Obviously, we were expecting that the final podcast was probably just going to be, all right, we're on the break now, but unfortunately, after the Christmas period, simply the channels just kept growing. And I've been fucking talking all this shit about how saying oh yeah, I'm going to improve the editing, I'm going to improve the videos we do, I'm going to start scripting, and we also asked people for ideas. I don't want to thank everybody for their ideas because you fucking excelled at that one. There was 50 responses on that video itself. Fair play. But also, it meant that the break, the break hasn't started yet. The break is being pushed back. But no, it's been good though. It's been really fun.
Hold on, you keep talking. There's a comment I want to bring up that I want to just tease for the Q&A. Because it's not going to be on the Q&A. I started pissing myself laughing.
Okay. I suppose as you get that, I will say the Q&A it'll come out on the 16th of January. Hopefully the day before the 2023 Eastenders characters tier list should be out. It's a much more edited affair, and it should be really good. And I've been working hard on it, plugging away. So hopefully you notice that it is higher quality than what we would usually do. What's the comment?
Jessica, the feet bot, I assume it's a feet bot, said there's only so many ways they can write a character. I have to wonder on whether George wears socks in the shower.
In the shower?
That's what it said.
I'm sure it means in the show.
The comment clearly does not state the show. It clearly says the shower, so he's.
Yeah, alright, well, there we are. That's all we need on that bit.
So, yeah, there you go. There's the fucking comment yourself. You read and weep it.
But yes, everybody's been going above and beyond to just, like, I don't know if you feel it, but there is a genuine buzz around the channel after that Christmas period. And now, because there's a buzz, and because I've obviously been fucking saying, like, yeah, it's gonna be fucking big, alright, it's gonna be strippers, it's gonna be cocaine, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be amazing, in a video game of Minecraft, it's gonna be amazing, it's gonna be fantastic, and now it's on us to actually fucking achieve. Now it's on us to work hard to actually reach the place we want to be. Because, I mean, the start of the year for me has been fucking wild. Mostly because the second that fucking first day, the second New Year fucking ticked over, New Year went over, I was having a poo, as you do. I was leaving the past in the past. And, day after, first thing I do, I go for a 20-minute fucking run. I cut out a lot of the sugar in my diet. And I've exercised each day since. It's only the 4th. It's not that big of an achievement, but it's and obviously a lot of my other time, if I've not been doing Watching Walford stuff, I've been streaming. So yeah, it's been a hell of a start to the year. How have you found it, Piggy?
Just give me a second, because there is something I want to talk about. Now I just want to talk about.
What was that?
Clip that.
My God.
Now, obviously, people who know me, I enjoy lost media, and I enjoy seeing things become public domain, because the minute something becomes public domain, you know shit's about to hit the fan. And I'm shit you not. So I was telling Ash this. So I'm obviously in the Lost Media Discord. So New Year's Day hits 12 a.m. for me. Go to bed, wake up, wait till about 10 o'clock at night, say, or about 5 p.m. I check the adult section, because it's an adult-only chat for all the adults. So you can chat about stuff you can't chat in off topic, like horror films and shit. And basically it's for the adults, where the children are not there going, I like Roblox.
Yes.
And basically they're like, yeah. Steamboat Willie, Mickey Mouse, is getting a horror film. And I'm like, what? Mousetrap. He's getting a horror film called Mousetrap.
That's pretty cool.
And there's another one in production, and it's literally, the quotes later, it's Jason Takes Manhattan, because they're on a boat, and an infection comes on the boat during the night. And it's basically Mickey Mouse is on a boat in a horror film.
That is genuinely Jason Takes Manhattan.
And it's in production. It starts production in spring 2024. It's so funny, because
it is funny to see a bunch of horror movie, to see a bunch of not horror entities fucking decide to. Sorry, I got distracted. A bunch of horror entities be put into fucking. This isn't horror. This is a fucking. Whatever. Carry on. I'll get my train of thought in a second.
It's so funny, because I've seen a Disney fan being like, Now, guys, looking at it, Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse does not have gloves, which means not the actual Mickey Mouse, and his ears are not as perky. And I'm like, yeah, I know, yeah, gloves are going to dictate whether or not he's fucking Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, it's what I was trying to say is that it's funny to see that when all this stuff goes into public domain, obviously a bunch of fucking shit, just a bunch of weird stuff gets made.
Like, obviously, in our lifetime, we won't see it because copyright laws will dictate it for hundreds of years. But obviously, in the next lifetime, or maybe a lifetime after that, obviously, Yahoo! I can't wait for when he comes public domain.
Mario's never going in public domain.
When
or
he does
is it just a thing where, like, after a set amount of time, you just can't hold the trademark anymore?
I believe the trademark is however long plus when the person dies.
Yeah.
So when Shigeru Moto, I fucking butcher that.
Shigeru Miyamoto
dies, it'll be like 100 years plus whatever he's fucking, you know. Because Mickey Mouse was supposed to go into public domain in 1984.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke Nakamura, you bollocks.
Yeah, ball bag. Oh, yeah.
Ball bag.
You made it Irish.
Well, Mickey Mouse was supposed to enter public domain in 1984, but obviously Disney renewed, and then they're like, oh fuck, the United States copyright system is like, oh fucking hell, you're here again, Mickey Mouse. We can't renew you. Fuck off, Mickey, please. And they're just smoking. They're like, oh, and then all you hear is, oh boy. And then fucking Mickey walks in with his little briefcase. They're like, Mickey, are you here again? Are you here again to send your copyright extension? Yeah. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of that door, Mickey. We can say that because Mickey Mouse is in public domain. Disney can't sue us.
Wait, actually,
but he's not wearing gloves.
Actually, no. We've all been saying Disney wrong the whole time.
Why?
These nuts. Oh, yeah.
Hey.
I don't know. I'm just child. You could see it when I formed the idea, like, fuck it, I'm going to hit him with a D's nuts. You could see my face go.
Well, yeah, what do you...
Mate, this podcast's already off the rails. It's great.
It is. It's brilliant seeing things become public domain, but my one problem is seeing, like, because all of these horror films about, like, Winnie the Pooh and
Blood and Honey.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
And The Grinch, like, they're all shitty, low-budget films.
Yeah,
like I want to see.
Well, the main issue is getting actual film rights for it are difficult, right? Like,
yeah, because no one
even
wants
if
to
you
do
like, even if you do, you're not going to get a big production behind it.
Because
like,
if you do, you have
it's like when King Kong goes into public domain, where it's like there's about 1,700 King Kong movies. But no one's actually got any bankroll behind it. So it's just like, I want to make a movie with King Kong in it. It's like, oh, you don't have the rights. You would get fucking destroyed. Well, I made one. It's like, yeah, okay. It's just that thing where you just don't get much backing behind them.
See, now you know it's, you can use this King Kong, but you can't use King Kong with the gloves on because that's copyrighted. So you have to use the ones without the gloves.
Exactly. Legally distinct King Kong.
But it's just, as I said before, it's going to be a weird thing because I don't see many high-budget companies being like, yeah, I'm going to fund a Mickey Mouse horror film because your ass is going to get sued by Disney.
Yeah.
Like, even though small companies are doing it, I feel like they have more chance of getting away with it because they don't have much, like, what's the word behind it? Much fan base. Whereas if
there are some lawyers that you don't fuck with. You don't fuck with WWE's lawyers, you don't fuck with Disney's lawyers, and you don't fuck with Kevin Spacey's lawyers, because you probably end up dead. Allegedly. Never happens. Definitely not. Look at all the court cases. He's been done in now, but the rest of them are dead.
But, you know, someone gave a great idea, but I'm like, it's not going to happen because Shrek's been in production for years. Shrek 5. Someone said DreamWorks is the perfect opportunity to give Mickey Mouse the villain role in Shrek 5. I'm like, yes, give me that. Fucking Shrek taking the piss out of Mickey Mouse.
I never thought of that, but it sounds... No, not for me. Not for me. I thought you were going to start saying make a Shrek horror movie, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh,
Just
Trevor,
you hear what are you doing in my swamp? Fucking hell!
We're probably not going to see it in our lifetime, but when Shrek becomes public domain, that's when I'm excited for a baby. Fucking
just donkey. I'll be shitting myself. He'll eat me. It'll be like Slender, but with Shrek. Except you will be able to hear him coming. Clunk, clunk, clunk. Donkey. Oh,
Shrek.
I found you. I fucking found you. Don't know what that Shrek impression is. Yeah, yeah. All right, I think we don't need to talk about Shrek anymore. I'll be real with you. How else has your week been? What else have you been doing?
It's been good. I've just been looking at the fucking when things become public domain because I like that sort of thing. It's just funny. The minute a child, let's take an example. The minute Bob the Builder becomes a public domain, there's gonna be a fucking Bob the Builder horror film. Yeah. Like I know people will go, that will never happen, but I tell you, the minute Fireman Sam goes into public domain, you cannot tell me some bollocks is gonna be sat online. I mean, like, I always wanted to do a Fireman Sam adult comedy. Fucking let's go. When he hears that fire bell chime, Fireman Sam the Nazi's always on time. Fireman Sam the Nazi. Hi.
Hello, my name is Fireman Sam. That's terrible. Anyways.
I'm the Nazi. I'm the Nazi guy. Fuck. But yeah, I believe Popeye's also in the public domain in this decade. I think Popeye's entering public domain this decade as well.
Popeye, the steroid man. Beep beep. It's fucking. This is ridiculous. Fuck it. All right, let's carry on. What else have we done? It's just been a lot. It's been a lot of prep work, honestly. We've been setting up some stuff for the channel. We have been slowly ticking off the milestones in YouTube's eyes. And as I said before, a lot of the stuff that we will have done will be launched on the 16th of January. So keep yourselves excited. Keep yourselves ready. Yeah, I as I said before, personally, I've been doing some exercise, been cutting out a lot of the sugar in my diet. I'm feeling a lot fresher. I'm feeling a lot healthier. Although I did weigh myself yesterday, and I'm like, oh Jesus, all that beer was not kind to me. all that beer weight was not good. But no, it's like I said, it's this year. I've said it a lot. This year's about being accountable for what I want to do, and it's about making sure I work the hardest I can to be able to actually do what I want. You know, I'm not going to look at things being like, I wish I could do that. Do it. I wish I could make scripted video. Do it. Start doing it, for fuck's sake. You know, it's like it's never too late to start doing things you actually want to do.
Obviously, I just want to say Ash also been streaming Shower, just Simpsons Hit and Run, and it's he speed runs it. He's very good at it. I always make the joke where he's like, I'm going to enter a tournament like he's an old wrestler going for one more run. Like he's fucking.
I'll just do one more. Ends up doing it for the next 20 years of your life.
Look, kids. You remember? I'll show you how the old timies did it back in my day in 2017. You fuckers, your ass is getting cooked by.
But yeah, it's absolutely wild. It's because if anybody knows who anybody knows all of like my history at this point, I've always struggled with motivation. But now I have motivation. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking great. Fucking keep going. Like this tier list video I've been editing for the last like 2 days straight. It's like, let's get this tier list video done, and then it's like, sick, done. Oh, it's 7 o'clock. Well, time to stream. Or it streams for 3 hours. Well, time to edit again, and like 1 o'clock goes, and Piggy's like, you want to watch wrestling? I'm like, yeah, I'll watch wrestling, but let's edit for another hour first. And then yesterday was the same thing, really.
Well, he didn't
watch wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the only difference. But of course, we got to shout out our big boy Oba. What is Oba? Oba Femi. Femi.
Wrestler.
Big. He's George Knight, but massive. And he's just a big guy. Shout out to him. Won the NXT Breakout Tournament. He's a big guy, and I think we need to get a cameo from him.
A brick shithouse, as they call it in the business.
Also, do you remember that DJC jump someone did? DJC did. Someone put Creed higher to it. So they literally pulled her off, and it's like, "Can you take me higher?
Yeah.
To a place where blind men see. Can you take me higher?" I still just think of the fucking Jewish lads where the guy brings in the forklift and the two lads start dancing on the forklift. If my cousin invites us to the wedding, I know you better bring out a fucking forklift and me start dancing on it, boy. Let's show you how we fucking Watching Walford hit the gritty. Come on now, lads, fucking gritty and the fucking forklift. I do also remember last week there was a guy who, I think he brought out a pallet or like a pallet truck or just a fucking forklift, and obviously there's a like a petrol station where I live, like across the road, McLaughlin's is called, and there's obviously a Eurospar behind it.
Mate, someone's fucking geo-guessing your location right now. Oh, all right, fucking enhance. Oh, found him. Actually, you zoom in, you look in the window, you actually see Piggy doing it. What?
And fucking the lads just got out the forklift and they're standing up trying to change the fucking letters on the fucking sign, and they're just standing and one lad's just holding the fucking forklift. And I'm like, you guys, if a gust of wind came, you'd go flying off it. But yeah, my week's been fun. It's just been enjoying the Christmas spirit, you know. Christmas spirit is over. It's now New Year's. New Year, new us. We entered the new
work fucking hard.
Yeah. We're also planning on giving me a PC. We haven't discussed it. Well, paying for it, yeah, of course. He's not going to just buy the new parts and then just ship it to me. He's going to put it together for me and then ship it to me.
Yes.
So obviously we have that. So we don't have to use my laptop. So whenever we do a video, it's not like. Welcome back to our tier list. How are you doing, Ash?
Yeah, that was one of the biggest issues. It's like, oh, this is out of sync, for fuck's sake. I've been zooming in on the faces, so it's like, this is out of sync, for fuck's sake. God damn it. But yeah, there's a lot of exciting plans, I guess, is the main thing. Not sure when the break's gonna be.
Probably next week.
Probably next week. Probably. I mean, we still have a lot of content that's still not gone out yet that we recorded a while ago. So, you know, it'll be, as said before. I think when we do the Q&A, I think I'll set it to premiere at like 7 or 8 or something. And then obviously we can sit in the chat as people watch it, and you know, fucking, yeah.
Also, just want to shout out Wilbur. He's a woodchuck. He has been shooting the neighbours' walls. He's not in Ireland, in fucking America. This lady has got some woodchucks in her house.
Yeah.
Yeah, some beavers, I believe.
Oh,
fucking his name's.
That's what they fucking are. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck's a woodchuck? Who the fuck is woodchuck? It's like it's actually just it's a lumberman. Hello, I am woodchuck. Chuck wood? Nope. It's like all those like solicitors where it's like, hello, I am Frank Ass. Frank Ass, I don't give a damn. Sorry. It's Frank Ass. We don't shit the bed. I don't know. It's one of it.
Oh yeah, there's like this lady housing all these fucking beavers.
Yeah.
And one of them just started chewing the wall, and there's like, no, eat the cardboard box. Start chewing the cardboard box. He's just going, oh, he's like, fuck you, love, I'm not doing that. And he's just like, he's going to the wall. And you know, like in wrestling, when you have that stereotypical scene where the wrestler comes down, they do the running, and all the guys like, oh, I'm gonna jump, yeah, I'm gonna jump, yeah, I'm gonna jump, yeah, and it's like all the guys are pulling them back.
Yeah,
the fucking. Yeah, the fucking the beaver was like, I'm getting in the wall, I'm getting in the wall. So he starts chewing the wall, then he's like, come here. And the beaver is just like, will you fuck off? And he's trying to chew the wall, and he's just grabbing and pulling them away.
I've got things to do.
And I wanted to go into the comments so I could hear one person go, that's animal abuse. Because there's always that one person, but I was like, I'm not going near that comment section.
No,
well, one of my favorite, also, I don't know if I sent you the clip, but one of my favorite clips is someone put, don't go into that party, there's white girl music. And it's just fucking Eddie Kingston and John Moxley coming out, like, I hear your heartbeat to the beat of the drum.
Making my way downtown, walking past, facing past, I'm home now. The only time in the head's making my way to the ground. There we are.
White girl music.
All my music. Hitting the fucking Big Fish Little Fish cardboard box to that. Classic.
But yeah, that's what I've been enjoying.
Bring it back.
I only know Big Fish Little Fish cardboard box because of Bob the Builder for some reason.
I just keep referencing it, and I find it funny. Because some people don't know what it is.
Big Fish Little Fish cardboard box.
Simple. Big Fish Little Fish cardboard box. Easy. Great. I Big Fish Little Fish cardboard box. Exactly. You're speechless. Because it's such a bloody good dance move. All right.
We'll hit on the dance floor, Ash. Don't worry. We'll go to the club and go, Big Fish, Little Fish, cardboard box. Big Fish, Little Fish, cardboard box. Big Fish, Little Fish, cardboard box. When I've had to
be in a situation where I was having to dance, I would just jump. I'd just jump up and down. And then I'd get tired. That's how I'd stop jumping up and down. And I'd just like... You just have to do it with confidence.
Fucking hit the Swerve Strickland. Swerve on the draw. Swerve on. Whoa! The fucking Linda Carter. That you hit that in the club, people will love you. Just fucking Linda Carter out of the way. People will love it. And then you could do the Mick. Just oi.
We have about 2 minutes before we start our regularly scheduled EastEnders conversation. So the final bit of the shit talking of the podcast.
Don't worry, next week I'll have a webcam. So yeah.
That is true. Piggy's upgraded his microphone so you can hear him a bit better. A lot clearer.
So you can hear me talk like this with dulcet tones.
Oh, that is peaking everywhere. Oh.
Oh,
do the test. You have to just say all the words with the letter P.
Penis, pussy, pickles, Perry, Peter.
Okay. You can say the letter P. It's just a thing with microphones where it's like, time to say the letter P. Fucking hell. No, I think you mean P.
Penis.
Peter, Piper, pickle,
Penis.
pepper.
Roddy Piper. Peeper.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, fuck it. Just chilling, honestly. I will just say, as a prelude to when we talk about the EastEnders, actually, hold on, there's something interesting here. EastEnders, the revelation that Linda killed Keanu was streamed 2.96 million times between December 19th and January 1st. That's pretty fucking cool.
Does that beat the Den and Angie thing, or no?
I don't think so, but overall it had... Yeah, the show had 26.28 million streams during the 2 weeks of Christmas. And I mean, it's just a difference of, I don't think well, the Den Angie thing's hard to beat because obviously at that time there wasn't as much shit to watch, you know? Like, you weren't just battling for the fucking, you weren't battling, we weren't necessarily in an attention economy where it's like, I need the time. Well, I don't have the time. I'm going to watch YouTube instead. It was just like, you have 6 channels. BBC is one of them.
And also, I just think that scene's iconic because it's just Dan hands her divorce papers.
Yeah, of course.
And she's just pissing herself crying. And then, like, what later will we know that Leslie Grantham would just become fucking Dan Watts?
Yeah.
It's mental. It's always mental to me just how the tables turned, how fucking Dirty Dan became Leslie Grantham and Leslie Grantham became Dirty Dan. But if you ever, like, people go, is Dirty Dan one of your favourite characters? Yes, because it's such an off-screen meltdown he has with on-screen as well. Fuck the actors, they're shit. But you know what I'm gonna do? Because this lady's totally true. She's not bullshit her way. Like, what the fuck are you on about, Leslie? What the fuck are you on about, mate? But yeah, it's time to get into the regularly scheduled EastEnders. There also will probably be mentions to Dirty Dan because of Eddie Knight, because he just looks like later Leslie Grantham.
Yeah.
Which people might be insulted by, but let's be honest. Leslie Grantham's family's not watching this. And if they are, I don't apologise.
No. Yeah, alright, fuck it. My eyes started watering like an absolute fucking funnel.
Yeah, I know, I've seen that. And I was like, are you alright, mate?
Fuck, Are
you fucking alright?
It's just EastEnders is in such a good place. No. No, it's just my eyes do it sometimes. I'm not even sad. That is our face detector. Lies. Where
are you?
Main stories. First up, let's talk about the Sonia and Reese baby struggle. This one we're going to breeze through because, look, Sonia and Reese are floundering like a fucking fish. They are fucking boring at this point. They are nothing particularly interesting, and honestly, I'm fucking sick of seeing them at this point. Like, can we just speed it up now, please? Can we just speed up the story so we actually figure out what happens to Debbie, whether they have a child, and what the fuck is actually gonna happen? Like, at this point, it feels like Debbie's the fucking, like, okay, we need Reese gone. Debbie's alive and she's angry at Reese and he's going to prison. Okay, done. Character over. It feels like it's it's like when you play Monopoly and you get you have a get out of jail free card. You're like, I'm not playing this yet. It's just you wait. But obviously, in the episodes, Sonia is like, I'm pregnant. I think I'm pregnant. And she does a test and she's not pregnant. She's like, I'm not pregnant.
That's your mom.
Is it? It is. And obviously, it's a sad thing for anybody to go through, to think you are pregnant and to not be, of course. Never happened to me, of course. I fucking love that line. And you also have the juxtaposition as also, I'll combine them in because they are intertwined. Zach and Whitney. Whitney is pregnant. And so where Sonia's miserable and fucking Whitney's like, well, Whitney's miserable too, but.
If you're wondering why Whitney's miserable, it's because she doesn't want to go through the pain of losing another child.
Yes.
She's afraid that her body won't let her have another child.
Yes.
It basically will die in the womb. And then you go through the same thing with Peach.
Yeah.
But obviously we know that's not going to happen, because if we're judging on how Whitney's going to be written out, she's going to be written out pregnant. And then, 5 years' time, here is 10 of my kids.
Yeah.
Excuse me, you have 10? You couldn't even get one in the past 10 years. How the fuck are 10? Fuck me.
Yeah, when Whitney
just
comes
back, them out like a circus.
I'm not saying I could easily see them doing like another Jackson 5 type thing, where they bring back Bianca, and obviously Whitney is just Bianca 2.0, kind of. Obviously comes back with a family full of kids. And then she actually goes and progresses to be an iconic character rather than they're just, I'm always trying. It's like the actress is always good, of Whitney, and she does a really good job of everything she does. It's just because she's always there. It's like she was the favorite child for a long time, and now she's no longer the favorite child. Like Kate Oates is like, Whitney's my favorite character, and it's just she just keeps getting fucking shit at all times. And like I said, she has the makings of being an iconic Eastender, but she hasn't had the good. She's had the good quality storyline. She just hasn't had it at the right times. Because anytime she has these big, like, explosive, I'm fucking Whitney, bitch. Anytime she has these big storylines, it's always like, Whitney is still sad because in the last year she has been shanked, she has been shit on, she has been married to 2 different men, and she's also carrying one of their children. But also none of this is going to happen, and nothing's going to change because Whitney's just going to be sad again. Alright. Like, we've all seen this story too many times. Whitney's like that sad dog waiting at the owner's grave. Maybe they'll come back today. Nope, not today. That's sad. My eyes tearing up again. Oh.
You're doing the reverse of that, aren't you?
Yeah.
But hey, sorry, had to.
Mate, I'm going to do that about 17 times in this episode.
Maybe Joey will come back today.
The worst bit is when you actually, like, when you start hearing shit of what you think is them. His feet would pitter-patter on the floor, so you hear some pitter-patter, you're like, what the fuck? Like, one of my brothers heard, started thinking he heard, because Joey, for some reason, would go to the top of the stairs. And then he'd just be like, oh, just whining at the top of the stairs. And he thought he heard that one time, and he just went, what the fuck? Whoa. That's wild.
We also forgot to talk about the big EastEnders topic. Max Bowden is leaving EastEnders.
Yeah, I guess we can talk about that. We already talked about it enough. It was funny with the timing, because it was initially reported in the Daily Star. This isn't real. 2 hours later. This is fucking real, guys. So, like, everybody's like, wow, the Daily Star's just not very reputable source. 2 hours later, digital spies confirm that Ben Mitchell is leaving. Fuck you. How's your Daily Star today, dickhead? We're still right, aren't we? Because we saw it first. What about today, dickhead? And honestly, since we're pretty dulled back on actually recording a bunch of new content, I did just want to briefly talk about the absolute shit show that is fucking all of the Ben Mitchell stans. It's not even just the Ben Mitchell stans, it's the Ben Mitchell haters. Where it's like, yeah, I'm so glad this absolute piece of shit is gone. And then the stans are like, guys, you're shooting yourselves in the foot because Ben Mitchell is the best actor on the show. He's the best character you've ever had, and the show's never gonna recover from it. And it's like,
yeah, recovered all the times before he left.
It's like Phil Mitchell left the show in 2003. Like, Phil Mitchell is the show's lifeblood. Dirty Den left the show in fucking 88 or 89 rather, and she left the show in 89 or 88, either or. Like, you know, the show can always manage. They killed off Pat, they killed off Peggy. Like, all of these iconic characters are dead. Max Bowden's Ben Mitchell is not one of them.
That's like saying the show will never recover when Karen left. To me, at least.
The shit I took earlier in the day was better than the one I took later. Okay, sound.
Like,
update.
Like, I understand about liking a character. We all like a character a bit too much. But I think you have to draw a line somewhere in the sand. Because it's like them people, and I know this might be a bit, oh, it's a bit out there. But it's like these fucking people. It's like, I know how I'm gonna stop the Ukraine war. I'm gonna make a petition. It's like, yes, fucking.
Or in a more funny way. It's like when people say, it's when people are talking about like UFC fighters. Yeah, but if I was fighting Conor McGregor, if he had me in an armbar, I wouldn't tap out. I've got too much heart for that. And it's like, you're just fucking spinning your own wheels now.
It's like when I hear people go, yeah, you see that wrestling fake show? I could do that. And it's like, yeah, if a Japanese lad, because they're much harder when they train you. They build
it's a much more like stiffer fucking.
If you wrestled a Japanese cunt, sorry for saying that word, but if you wrestled one of them boys, fucking me, like, before you had the time to go, are you ready to be body slammed? And you reply, yeah, take me on, motherfucker. He'd have you picked up.
Yeah.
Oh, me, fucking back. And he'd be,
yeah.
You'd be fucked. It's just like, signing a petition's not going to change anything. Like, Chris Clenshaw's not going to be sitting on the John going, oh, maybe Debbie 2554 is right.
Well, 20 people have signed this petition that Ben Mitchell has to stay. So Ben Mitchell's gotta stay. No one cares about your petition, man. I appreciate. Look, I get it. I get Ben Mitchell is one of the most polarizing characters EastEnders has at the current time. Not of all time. Not of all time. But simply saying, yes, Ben Mitchell from 29 onwards with the new actor took more of a different edge. A lot of the people who like Ben Mitchell now may not even have liked the previous Ben Mitchells because he took a much more gangstery, much more kind of hard man, raw, angry image. And with his storyline with Callum, where you have this wonderful gay, well, maybe not wonderful gay couple, quite a toxic gay couple.
Just a gay couple.
You have them getting together, and then they phrased it as two working class lads, which it never was. They phrased it as that. And they get together. It's a lovely little romance. I was a fucking stan at the time. But the years have not been kind since for Ben, as Ben has proceeded to be a fucking, that person who you just have to cut out your life because they just keep making everything about them.
Declan likes metal.
At some point you just go, mate, you're too draining to be around anymore. I can't deal with you. And, it's not the nice thing to do. But sometimes you just have to cut that shit out because at some point, at the end of the day, if they're causing so many problems and you have the option to have them not cause problems, you're going to pick the easy life, aren't you? And yes, Ben has become a comfort pick, a comfort character for a lot of people. That shipping has been a lot of people's lifeblood of the show. And it is sad to see it end in probably. But the character's been fucking shit for years.
The problem is, it's like when you build a house and then suddenly if a house falls apart.
Yeah.
So take example the previous Ben Mitchell leaving. And then it's like, okay, we're building a new house with new cement, new concrete.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we're building the house and it falls apart again. And you're like, what's the point of building this house? It's just gonna keep falling apart. What's the fucking point? And I suppose that's how I feel about Ben Mitchell. It's like a house they're trying to build over and over again, but every time they build it, it's like boom.
It's like they're not learning from the previous mistakes.
They're not. They're just going.
Where it's like, okay, so what if we made this? Because my favorite Ben Mitchell is Harry Reid, who played a much more vulnerable but much more happy-go-lucky Ben Mitchell. But the main thing about his Ben Mitchell is he was shit at being angry because it was always really funny. And that's what the whole point is. Because, like, when I got angry as a kid, I would get really angry. I'd be doing that. Like, fucking... And, you just can't take that serious because it's just not scary, is it? But they decided to make this Ben Mitchell just always scary and never happy. But at least with the previous Ben Mitchell, he was discovering who he was. Like, he was making strides in his personal life. This Ben Mitchell's just a bitter adult who's had a shit life and lets out on everyone every single day. It's just
like they're playing Russian roulette, basically. And it's like, how the fuck can we top what the previous Ben Mitchell went through? And fucking every time a writer gets the gun, they're like, And they put their feet up on the table and they're like, you fuckers. Wait till you see what we do. You had him kill Heather. We're going to have him get raped. Fuck you. And it's like, Jesus.
Your husband, your first real true love is going to die? Ah, called it. It's like, oh, guys, please.
It's so funny to me to see
I'll make
the
it
outrage.
fully clear, though, is that I don't want him to be axed, like, forever. I don't want the character to be just gotten rid of, and I don't think it ever will, because he's been on the show for 18 years of Ben Mitchell. Obviously, he's like 20s or whatever, but, you know, like, he's 18 years, like, on the show. And I just think that the character is too important to keep away for too long, but simply that the current actor was not working, and, you know, just fucking put the character away for a little bit, bring him back. I'd still say bring back Harry Reid, personally. And simply just act like it didn't happen. Redo the character again, and actually have him have the positive traits and have him be happy, and not just have him become Whitney 2.0.
And please, for God, don't have him with Callum.
Yes.
Because I hate that relationship. I love you, Ben. Well, Callum, do you know why I was raped? It's because your fucking police department did nothing about it. And it's like, Ben, don't take your anger out on me. Like, I'm trying to be your husband. Yeah, but fuck you, Callum. Fuck you. Go die in a hole. And it's like, Ben, you're supposed to love me. Yeah, well, you see, fuck you. I'm
I've had a bad day, motherfucker. It's like, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's always a risk. And sometimes relationships are just lifeless, and in this case their relationship is lifeless. It's like they went, oh yeah, they got married in 2021, first gay wedding. Probably wasn't cool. They've just not been happy ever since. Like, come on, you're supposed to at least have some time of bliss, you know? You're supposed to have some free period. And I hope Callum stays. I do, so we can actually give him something interesting to do. Like, let him be with someone who's not Ben. Let him stand on his own 2 feet. He's a fucking detective, like, regent or whatever, you know? Like, he's went up the fucking chain. But yeah, it's just ultimately, there's only so much space for characters on the show, and Ben Mitchell was not getting anywhere near as much space as he was in the previous era. And that clearly did its damage, because now the character's been axed. It's a shame, but...
It was not a shame to me.
Well, it's not a shame. It's not a shame because it had to end, but it's a shame that it had to get to this point, right? That's my take.
My take is, look, you can write a petition, you can fucking scream on the streets that you want Ben Mitchell back, but the thing is, there will always, everything has an ending. Like, this channel is not going for 50, 60 years. It will have an ending. Your favourite wrestling channel will have an ending. Your favourite movie franchise, yes, it'll get rebooted and rebooted and rebooted. But even in the reboots, it'll have a finale. EastEnders won't be running forever. It will have a finale. The Simpsons won't run forever. It'll have a finale. Even if it gets rebooted multiple times, it will still have a finale. Hopefully. It's the thing. Ben Mitchell's arc has come to an end, and people need to realise that if we just keep Max Bowden on the show as Ben Mitchell, he's just going to be sitting there going, ha ha, I'm gay. I was like, okay.
He's just going to keep getting more miserable. Like,
yes.
It's like Lola. Lola had to go because this was the best she was going to get. Keanu had to go because he wasn't getting any better than this.
Keanu's still my favourite example, because Keanu's like, you want me to do nothing for months and get paid.
Keanu fucking waltzed into being involved in one of the most iconic EastEnders scenes in a long time.
Keanu, again, I said it on the tier list, but Keanu's like that kid.
All got cut out.
Did it?
Not all of it, but some of it.
Like I said on the tier list, Keanu's like that kid in school who didn't participate, but he somehow wins. Wait, you want me to be in this show so I can, and I do nothing? Holy shit! Right, sign me up, you fuckers. But yeah, Ben, I'm glad he's getting axed. I don't care if the stands come at us in the comments. Just not get a life.
Yeah, it's like, I love the Ben Mitchell character, but I don't love this version of it.
No.
And this version of it needs to leave, because otherwise the character's gone forever. Like, it's it sucks if you're a fan of the character, but I'm not a fan of the actor who plays the character. So, and I'm not a fan of the character's writing at this point either. So, he has to go. He has to go, Jeff. All right. I suppose. Yeah. So obviously, Reese and Sonia aren't pregnant. Zach and Whitney are pregnant. Whitney has a big, long conversation with Yolande, who obviously has a history of fostering, and essentially goes like, "Hey, look, you ever need anyone to talk to, you know?" And essentially, Whitney kind of opens up about her being pregnant again and her kind of being worried, you know, about being a parent. And, you know, Yolande she says the right things, which makes Whitney go, "Fuck it. I can fucking do this. I'm gonna fucking have this baby." And obviously Zach sees it, and he's like, What are these pregnancy vitamins?" And then Whitney's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, it's...
I'm just glad that they're not going, "Yeah, I'm getting an abortion," and then seeing Twitter blow up like, "They're pushing the beliefs on us," and I'm like, no.
Let's make it
No.
stop.
It's like, how dare you? A child is a child, even in the womb. But I'm like, no, fuck off. That's like saying a roast chicken in the belly of a chicken is a fucking chicken. It's not. It's just a fucking blob. Fuck off.
But yeah, so positive news for Zach and Whitney, not positive news for Sonia and Reese.
You'll get over it, Sonia. Just have another shag.
I do hope that...
But actually, go comfort your mom. Go comfort her.
I desperately hope that Sonia and Reese's story gets sped up. Because you don't know how to feel. Okay, they're having this feel-good story about having a baby through IVF. Okay. Yeah, but the money's being stolen by his wife who cannot consent to giving the money away. Oh. Yeah, but Sonia doesn't know, so Sonia thinks it's all coming from him. Okay, wholesome. He's still stealing money from his wife, who's basically dead. Oh. Like, you need to fucking polish up the edges before you can actually start to realise whether Reese is a good guy or Reese is actually a prick. Because now it's just becoming the comedy scenes with no depth. And as said, we don't need them. We don't need those comedy scenes anymore.
We were Reese fans, but the problem is, again, Chris Calenshaw has some vendetta against me, where I like a character, and the Chris Calenshaw is like, "Well, you like Theo Hawthorne? Well, he's a creepy pervert." It's like, and a stalker. You like Reese? He's stealing money from his kind of dead vegetable wife. You like Malcolm? He was in a kidnapping. Chris, can I call you Chris? Why are you doing this, mate? Why are you doing this? Chris, like, I like seeing these people suffer. And I'm like,
But yeah, let's move onwards, and probably not for too long, honestly. Let's talk about George's identity crisis. This is obviously stemmed from his adoptive parents coming in, Gloria and Eddie Knight, and they're exploring the social issue that is farming, where children initially is sent over to... I don't really know. I've not looked into the actual details of this, but you know how George explains it is a kid's like sent over to be fostered and paid, to like take a kid from, like, in George's case, Ghana. Take a kid from Ghana, take him to the UK, let him live in the UK and be fostered and raised there. Seemingly it's supposed to just be fostering. But in this case, George was just kept by his parents, by his adoptive parents. And obviously him learning that, like, he was bought is obviously a bit of a fucking strange thing to think of, because it's like, what does my identity even mean, you know? Like, I used to think I knew who I was, but now I can't even tell you that.
And do you want me to continue? So, like, if I get into the racist scenes, you don't get in trouble and I do. Because I don't mind taking the fall for you, brother. BLM for life. Wakanda forever. All that jazz.
All that jazz.
Clip that, people. Clip that. Keep that out of context.
And all that jazz.
But basically, the wife of Eddie is I'm not going to remember her name. I can only remember Eddie's, so don't correct me every single time. She's a lovely sweetheart. You know, she's like, oh George, I love you, George. You're like a son I never had. You are literally the son I never had, and I couldn't have. And then you have Eddie being like, you know what, boy, fetch me another drink, boy. You know what, boy.
Never calls him George.
You know what, boy? You're a nice boy. And it's like, Jesus Christ, Eddie.
Yeah, and you slowly start to see more and more stuff that he says, and it's like, he's just a racist old man, isn't he?
He's like, he's basically like Gina and Anna. He likes Anna over Gina because Gina's more wildish, I guess. More like, kind of like how I describe it in not a this might be kind of a right way to describe it. It's kind of like if you have a brother and sister, but your sister dresses like a tomboy. It's basically how I describe it. Where like you're like, she doesn't fit in.
Who? I was like, what the fuck are you saying?
Basically how I describe it for if you're confused, it's just basically think of like your sister dresses as a tomboy, and it doesn't fit in. He's basically doing that, but with Gina. And because it's like, Anna, you're a lot like your father, but Gina, you're a fucking, what the fuck are you? And there's a scene with Eddie where they're talking about shaving George's head because George had a big puffy afro. I think he had an afro. I hope
he just had hair that was wild. They obviously didn't know what to do with it.
And then Eddie goes, yeah, to fucking shave him like a sheep, and I'm like. And then he looks at Gina and goes, yeah, are you going to put a comb in that hair before dinner? And I'm like, why are you not getting smacked?
Yeah, like, they're definitely building for Eddie to get fucking smacked. And this kind of culminates as glorious, all comes across as really lovely and genuine. She invites Cindy to the dinner, and at the dinner, obviously, he is, like, fucking your uncle
I'll do it, don't worry.
Yeah, well, I'm just setting it, you know. He is your drunk uncle or granddad at Christmas, you know.
They're talking about neighbours, and not everybody needs good neighbours. They're not talking about that. They're talking about their neighbour friend, and basically, Eddie goes, yeah, it was a couple of black guys who fucking attacked her and stabbed her nearly. A couple of blackies, you know, a couple of black lads. You know what I mean? It's like, Eddie, and then like he of course
that's the tone he said it, right?
Yeah,
you don't need to add extra words to what he said. That's where you fucking say something dodgy. Just say what he said.
And then basically, you of course have the black people like around the table, and Cindy, Elaine, and the parents, and you kind of have Gina just going. Yeah, but why are you being specific about it? Like, they could have been white.
Yeah, like,
and it's just like, you can't say anything these days.
Why are you specifically calling them out? Are you just describing? Yeah, there were some black lads. You know, so why is it important that they were black? And then he does do the. Well, I probably shouldn't have said that they were black, but you just can't say anything these days. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And like he's really uncomfortable with Cindy.
Seemingly something was there with Cindy.
Yeah, but it also could just be that she just knows he's a massive racist. Because
and basically seems like you're not gonna do anything, George.
Yeah, George, what? George, you're just gonna fucking sit through this. George was like, he doesn't mean it. Like, George.
There's also a scene earlier in this episode where George is having a talk with his dad, and again I described it on the watch along or on the post watch along show, where it's like a kid telling dad, "Is Santa real? Like, how does he come down the chimney?" And the dad's like, "Oh, I don't fucking know.
Who are my parents, Dad? I don't fucking know."
I
Yeah, but you
don't
should
know.
know something, though. I don't fucking know. You know
Fuck
something.
off.
Will you shut the fuck... The presents are hidden under the fucking... Under the stairs. Just look, for fuck's sake. He's not fucking real. Fuck off. Leave me alone.
It turns out the child's not even 7, he's like 67. He still believes in Santa.
What do you mean?
And the dad's like 80 in a fucking wheelchair in a Santa costume. Just, here you go, here's your fucking presents.
But
No,
and also what he says to Gina is obviously Gina's quite annoyed because fucking, you know, Gina's upset that she's pretty much being fucking picked on. And obviously she's like in a huff, just walks by and's like, you have to tame her. And it's like, all right, Eddie. All right, big man. That's at least we're lining up for him to get fucking smacked. Because there's no fucking place of racism here. Like
there'll be one guy in the comment section. How dare you guys?
Anna and Gina are both mixed race. They have the same parents. They have the same heritage. It's just, you know, what Eddie sees is like, well, what are you? Is different. It's like, you know, like racism has no fucking place. But you also have to tell it because, I mean, it's about the character.
We briefly mentioned as well on the watch along that there will be white people and probably some black people who will get offended. But I'm like, you can't hide it. It's like politics. You can't ignore politics in shows because it's like, yeah, the trans issue. Should we talk about it? And it's like, no, trans people just exist. They have them over there in their own bubble. And it's like, you can't do that. You have to show every side of the coin.
Yes.
If you just stick your fingers in your ears and go la 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 la, nothing's happening in the world, nothing's happening, no wars are going on, nothing's happening, everything's safe, nothing's happening, la 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 la. It's like, that's not how you fucking live. You're supposed to know the truth.
But the main angle is obviously it'll be silly to watch a lot of the people getting annoyed for people who will have been like racially abused, you know. Like some people will have been fucking upset by this for good reason because it would have happened to them. But obviously, am I gonna get fucking upset because like am I gonna upset for someone else because there's racist abuse? Like I think I've dealt with racism to me personally, but that was playing a fucking game and that doesn't matter, you know. Like none of this is deeply fucking internalized.
You have a pride flag on your fucking Rocket League car.
Like the most abuse I'll get is gay hate because in Rocket League I have a LGBTQIA plus flag on it, and obviously I'm openly asexual and very very hopeful for gay rights. So, but yeah, like it'll be funny to see the people like I'm upset by this. Why? Because other people are gonna be upset, and it's like, well, let them be upset then. You fucking let the people who deserve to be upset about this be upset. Don't get upset for someone else because there's a chance they don't give a fuck. But it's been they've done it well. George's dad is a unapologetically racist prick, and it's very easy to just despise him. And what we hope it's gonna lead to is obviously gonna be him getting a fucking smack. Hopefully. But the main thing that kind of caused issue is obviously later on Gloria and George have a big like heart, like, you know, like you are always loved, George, you know, like we did love you. Mentions how after 6 months the payment stopped and they never heard from the parents again because obviously it was supposed to be a fostering thing. And where the issues come in is they have this big thing. Oh, I love you, Mum. Yeah, no, I love you, Georgie. Oh, it's great, you know. But as they go to leave the pub, obviously the dad's like, "Did you tell him what he needed to know?" It's like, yeah, I told him what we agreed, and it's like, nah, that means there's worse, you know. Like this means that A, the mum who's absolutely lovely is in on it, and B, there's more to hide. I'm just like, god damn it. But it was always nice to see Cindy. It was nice to see Cindy obviously sticking up for her daughters, or sticking up for Gina mostly, because Anna's not getting any shit. But yeah, it was an interesting story to have, because it obviously tackles someone of an older age, already living a full fucking extravagant life. Their identity being called into question. Because we always get it with teens, where it's like, you're not my real mum. Well, what happened to the real mum? Your real mum was a drug addict or some shit, like, it happens all the time in soap. But, in that angsty period. But, instead, it's just George, who is, knows who he is, very sure of himself. What the fuck does it mean anymore? But it's been lovely. Elaine stepped up in a way. Cindy's been great. Obviously Gina Anna's not done anything, but Gina's been good at showing this as well. So good stuff from this account. And all in all, we just want to see Eddie get punched. So the final topic. Also, I hope we didn't. Well, I hope we didn't unintentionally stumble into saying anything really stupid. So if we did, we do apologize. It's. Are you saying anything? You just moving forward?
No, I had to let something rip, so I was
okay.
like, just gonna mute. Just.
But you did it. It's like, oh fucking hell! Piggy's being ominous.
Just.
But yeah, we'd love to hear what people think about this storyline in the comment section, and if we have been ignorant about anything, feel free to tell us. We tried our best, but ultimately it's not like we really... we're not particularly well informed on some of these issues. So, there we are.
And, up the blacks. All that jazz. Up the black guys. They're cool. And black women. And black they, thems. You're all cool. And again, just for all time's sake, we'll come forever, guys. Be cool. Cool, yeah. Cool.
Just sounds insincere.
No, I just want to make sure I'm cool with all the guys. Girls and they thems.
Alright. Lauren and Penny's return. This is a fairly, once again, a much more... I was expecting a lot more fireworks with this storyline. Obviously, we get to see Lauren back in her true form. Like, a guy's trying to hit on her, and then she's just like, I don't know what the fuck you're not understanding. I'm saying not interested. Fucking hell, alright. But Penny also, she speaks French. She's just like, mate, fuck off. She's a single mum and a recovering alcoholic. Just fuck off. But obviously their big storyline is Penny is apparently an international drug smuggler. Who gets by due to the fact that she's in a wheelchair and probably doesn't get checked as rigorously as like other people. But then when they go back to the UK, Juliet's like, you need to do a job for me. And obviously Juliet is probably the fucking main bitch. And so Penny stashes the drugs in Lauren's bag, and obviously Lauren gets picked up by the police. And then you start to see through some stuff, you see Penny start to adjust back to being on the square. Where she basically goes, oh, hey, you're fine. Oh, hey, Peter. Peter going like, just like, hypothetically, if someone were to do it, why would they be such a callous bitch? Hypothetically speaking, of course. And obviously this kind of makes Penny go, as well as Jack being like, I know you fucking did it. You think you're being smart, but you're not. You could go to jail for a long time. But something slips. Jack learns about Juliet and kind of tips off the guys like, yo, she's not the one who's doing this. Maybe go easy on her. She doesn't realize how bad this is. Maybe try go for the leader. Maybe try go to the leader who's clearly like she's just a pawn in this big operation. And she even tries to she pushes herself out of her chair and tries to act like the police officer did it. But they went, we have CCTV, you fucking idiot. Why would you try that? But they just went, look, you tell us who Juliette Dubois is, we will hopefully get you and Lauren out of here. But obviously, she's scared that she's going to get fucking, like, hurt because she's snitching on her. And that's the Lauren and Penny stuff. Lauren was there for one episode before she got arrested, and Penny is now there, but still very frosty with everyone. For a second, it looked like there was going to be a potential, there were, you could say there were some sparks between Lauren and Peter and Penny. You could argue, but yeah, it wasn't too big a deal. As said before, this week of EastEnders was very fucking. It was a lot more dialed back, and that's probably by design. So yeah, what do you think of this week's EastEnders, Piggy?
I enjoyed it. It was a good week. You know, got some good stuff. Oh, the Penny and Lauren stuff, I enjoy it. I enjoy Penny using her disability to her advantage. You know, I do that sometimes. I'm not as disabled as her, but
it's not a competition, mate. It's not a competition.
But you know, mentally, yeah. So yeah, you know, I have a badge. I've seen the badge before. It says I have a hidden disability. So I got on the fucking. I remember one incident, and I remember this so well. I remember, so we have a thing called the Luce, I think it's called. It's kind of like a tram, basically.
Yes.
It takes you around Dublin. So, like, if you want to get from Euston Station into Dublin Centre, you hop on the tram, brings you out. Basically, that's what the Luce is. But it gets so packed. It's like packed in nearly every hour. Yeah. So you have all these guys standing up, you know. This one lady, I remember I think we were going to Tala. And I remember this lady, she seen my badge on my jacket. She went, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Would you like a seat?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah. Just took her seat." She offered me her seat. I fucking took it.
Was she an old woman?
No, she was like 30. Okay. She was a bit overweight, but I do remember I remember look, I'm on the talk, but I do remember on the train ride home from your place, I remember some just 60-year-old man just being, "Here you go, sunshine, take my fucking seat." And I went, "Oh, you're offering, I'll fucking take it, I guess." And then when the other person got off the train, I sat in their chair, and then all these lads going to a party just hopped on. They're all drinking Strongbow dark fruits. One guy was doing cocaine, I believe, and he was fucking high off his head. Just sat there giggling, and I'm like, "What the fuck am I sitting here?" I swear, where the fuck do you live? But yeah, that's my one disability story. But yeah, just use it to your advantage, guys.
Yeah, like
someone doesn't give you the last slice of bread.
If there's one thing I will argue is that, and obviously this is rich coming from me, but it also was echoed by obviously the Kitty Castledine, the actress who plays Penny, where essentially like, look, we're in a world that doesn't really accept disability. You know, it's a lot harder to get genuine support for it. So you know, he's allowed to fucking. You're allowed to make exceptions for yourself.
Of course, we can't work, so we're technically classified as mentally unable to work.
I'm legally useless by technicality.
So, you know, like if a World War III started, me and you are exempt.
Yeah, I probably should.
That's what I'm excited about.
All right, let's get excited about the one thing that is coming back after being shelved for a month. The awards. Now, for all the people who don't know what the awards were about 3 awards, I believe, that we do give to certain characters who have fulfilled the right criteria. We have the underrated character award, which is pretty self-explanatory. Any character who didn't do much but did a really good job of doing it. We also have the Steve Blackman Award, which is a character who is trying their best, but they of just very wooden in their portrayal. So like Keanu, basically. Keanu won it about 17 times last year. And finally, who needs slapping down? A, regular on the channel, just who has been the fucking worst. So where do you want to start?
Who needs slapping down? We'll go slapping down. Steve motherfucking Blackman, and most underrated.
Steve Black. Who's
No,
been
we're not going Steve Blackman first. We're going.
Oh, slapping
for
down.
the who needs
Sorry,
slapping
yeah,
down
just
first.
completely just blanked. Who needs slapping down?
Eddie Knight for me.
Oh yeah, entirely. Like, I guess maybe to separate it from yours, maybe I'd say Penny personally, simply because she's in over her fucking head.
That's a hate crime, mate.
Well, the police already did it. But yeah, it's
I guess
like
I technically am committing a hate crime as well because I'm hitting an elderly man. But what's worse, hitting an elderly man or a person in a wheelchair? Let's be honest.
But yeah, like she's clearly in over her head. She's not taking any help, and it's like, just accept the fucking help. Jack will help you get out, for fuck's sake. Of course, but obviously there's reasons why you fucking laugh. As she said last time you helped me, I ended up in this wheelchair, like fucking, like, there's a lot of reason to not want to trust Jack, but, you're in over your head, just accept the help.
Yeah,
I guess we don't need to go into why Eddie Knight needs to be slapped down, because he just does.
Racist.
What's next?
Steve motherfucking Blackman.
Most wooden character of the week.
Mate, you know what I'm going for? I'm going for the most wooden object that was used.
All right.
I'm going for the coffee table that Cindy and George sat at in the cafe.
Very true.
This board is for inanimate objects as well. It can be for anything on the show.
It's the shittest award we do.
Yeah, but we keep it because of Steve fucking Blackman. And I recommend you people go out there and watch some Steve motherfucking Blackman matches. He was never in UFC, but he should have been. He just... He
was a wrestler who... I describe it as when you're so devoid of charisma that becomes your charisma. Like, you're so boring, but you fully believe in what you're doing, so you're cool.
Basically how I described it, in most of these matches, he'd come in, he'd fuck people up and leave. He'd probably lose, but he'd just fucking batter people and then lose. Or if it was the mid-90s, he'd win. But if it was the late 90s, he'd lose. So like 97, 98, he'd win. But if it was 99, 2000, 2001, he'd fucking lose.
But,
yeah.
Anyways.
Nothing compared to Dan Severn, though. So
I'm just going to give it to Eddie Knight simply because he is just tokenly, woodenly racist. Just, you can't bloody say anything these days. Grow up.
Fucking snowflakes.
And finally, the most underrated of the week.
Louis.
All right. I was going to go for Peter personally.
You go for Peter, I'll go for the son. So,
because Peter, he had a fun little scene with Penny where he fucking... where he just convinced her, like, why the like, oh, you seem very certain about this. I wonder why that is. Anybody who would do that is a fucking bitch and should absolutely never do anything like that again. And if they should turn themselves into the police. Just, But it felt like there was a little spark as well, Penny seemed to notice, like, Peter as well. Like, oh, I felt like you were the least, like, the invisible, That was interesting. I thought he did good, especially considering Thomas Law, after being brought back, has done the square root of fuck all.
True. He's done absolutely nothing, Jeff. But Louis, for me, is the reason why I'm going with him. Is because his mom's been arrested for cocaine, and he's just happy.
He is chilling.
he fucking took some of that coke and fucking did it himself. He stole some from that stash and just went, there we go, lads. Like, he's just chilling. He's just... Also, did you know they replaced the original actor who played Louis? It's a different actor from the one in France.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Oh. Yeah,
There you
enough.
go.
Yeah. The more
You
you
can
know.
bring him back. The more
All
you
right.
know. And that has been the awards. I'll run through mine and Ash will run through his. Who they slapping down? Good old Mean Man Jenkins himself, Eddie Knight.
I would go for Eddie Knight, but I've said it's Penny, just to be different.
Yeah. So Ash is ableist, and I'm oldest. Ageist. There you go. Oh, wait, no, I didn't say ableist before. Sorry, I have to say it my way. You're a disabled racist. You're a disabled racist. The most on Steve Motherfucking Blackman Award is
George's dad.
For me the coffee table that George and Cindy sat at, you know, that little white table. We all have them in a cafe. And the most underrated / underutilized this week was
Peter.
Was Peter for Ash and Louis for me. Because Louis just he's vibing. He's like a dog that I follow on Instagram called Tato. Because Tato's just like Tato is he's a big Labrador. And like his brother Ollie's a like sound little old gentleman dog. And Tato's just a hyper dog who's just whenever something happens, he's just sat here like,
I love Louis. He's like a fucking dog.
yeah,
what the... Oh, Jesus Christ.
Another clever moment.
No, that's staying in. It's all staying in. So as said before, if we've said anything particularly stupid or ignorant, feel free to tell us and explain what we've said, why it's fucking stupid. And we can learn, because, you know, sometimes we are out of our depth, and it's not always bad to ask people who actually know what the fuck they're talking about to tell us. But there we are, that's the awards section, and that means that now it's the end of the podcast. As always, this podcast, I say that now, this podcast is pretty much half an hour of us shooting the shit, and then the next, like, half an hour, 45 minutes is us talking about the EastEnders. So I hope you enjoyed it. It's a slightly more dulled back approach, and also less edited, because I'm not fucking editing the podcast. But
half my shit would have to be cut out.
But regardless, I've been Ash.
Yeah, there's the podcast. Like, so Piggy, what's your thoughts on Eddie Knight? But yeah, I've been Piggy from Watching Walford. Socials are the following: Watching Walford on Twitter / X, Instagram and Twitch. You want wrestling, we'll give you wrestling. One more match, 182 on YouTube.
Yeah.
You want to follow a bully speedrunner? You want to follow a bully speedrunner? Well, have I got the man for you? Or person, or
Jesus,
girl.
do not smack the fucking table.
Slater Mine 2049, 2 E's in there. Brilliant person. Follow their Twitch if you want to see bully speedruns. You want to follow another sharp speedrunner other than AquaDreams before I shout him out. You can follow Sid330 on Twitch as well. He wears a black mask. He's not racist. He just is IRA affiliated member.
He wears the black balaclava. He wears a black balaclava.
Yes. He's not doing blackface, I promise. He's not. And then you can also follow AquaDreams on Twitter or on Twitch, on YouTube, and Real AquaDreams on Twitter. And again, you just want our content, you know where to find us. Maybe we'll set up a Discord, maybe we'll set up a Patreon. Who knows? But without further ado, I must bid you a goodbye, and a farewell. Good night and goodbye. Bang.